welcome to my channel. My name is Alessia. I am 22 years old. I am engaged to the love of my life, and we have a beautiful 3-year-old daughter, and of course a crazy puppy. Her name is Rain. She is driving me nuts. Rain, sit girl, lay down. She's gonna drive me nuts this whole video, but she's a puppy, so if I try to put her in her crate or if I try to close the door on her, she will just whine. So I'm definitely not gonna do that. So I'll just kind of deal with her craziness. I really wanted to create a YouTube channel to document my pregnancy. I am pregnant. We are super excited. We have been trying for a baby for a year and a half, maybe a little bit over that. I kind of stopped counting the months, because once you get over like 12 months, it's kind of just like you're like not happy. I know I'm like fairly young. I got pregnant super young with my daughter. I was only 17, but here we are. We wanted a second baby. Our daughter is 3.5. She'll be 4 in March, and we just thought like it's time for a sibling. So we wanted to try, and we weren't successful at all for the months prior to this pregnancy, but we figured it out. We got it. We manifested. We prayed. We just kind of really tried a new approach to getting pregnant instead of just, you know, doing the regular things that you do. I guess we kind of tried a different approach. I kind of tried some more spiritual things. I won't like go into that in this video, but I tried a lot of different things, and I really 100% believe that those things that I did and that I tried and that I manifested really aided in me getting pregnant, because it was really like the only thing we kind of did differently. But moving on from that, I am pregnant right now. I am 11 weeks and 2 days pregnant. So I unfortunately had a miscarriage last year, and I was around like 8 weeks pregnant, and I, knew I was pregnant from the beginning because, we did try and I was tracking my cycle and everything, but I was kind of not scared. I felt very confident about this pregnancy from the get-go. I kind of knew things were going to be different. I kind of felt a strong presence of baby, and I just kind of felt like everything was going to be okay. But even though I felt that way, I didn't want to start doing videos and then have to record a heartbreaking miscarriage video, just because it's very hard to go through a miscarriage. For the women out there who went through it, I feel for you. I know you feel for me. It's not anything you would wish on your worst enemy. So it's kind of, I just wanted to kind of be in the clear myself. I kind of wanted to be past the point that I had the miscarriage with my last pregnancy, and then I kind of just wanted to be closer to 12 weeks, just because that's when they say that you're kind of in the clear, even though that anxiety never goes away. I kind of felt a little bit better. But this is my rainbow pregnancy. So after you have a miscarriage, that next pregnancy is a rainbow pregnancy, like being the rainbow after the storm. So we had a huge storm, and now this baby is the rainbow after that. So jumping right into this video, I kind of wanted to give like a little update on what happened the first half of my pregnancy, since I am nearing my 12th week. I've been jotting things down from the get-go on this little notebook from the beginning, so I know kind of everything that's like going on and can keep track and can update you guys. But yeah, I'm really excited to do these pregnancy videos because I hadn't done it with my daughter. I wanted to do it, but I just never got around to it, and I was like, it was a different time, you know what I mean? Like it was a surprise pregnancy, and not like we weren't happy, it was just new, and we were like not expecting it, and everything was kind of like rushed, and so this is a completely different experience. We wanted this baby, like I said, we prayed for this baby, we manifested this baby. So you know, as soon as I found out, it was just like tears of joy. I was very happy. I was very excited. I was like all gung-ho for this pregnancy and the birth and just everything. So jumping right in, and just to give a kind of like a little overview of our trying to conceive, I'm not gonna like go too far into it, but I know that I ovulated or I got my positive ovulation test on September 16th, and I honestly thought we were gonna miss our window because we didn't BD until the 18th. But they say after you get that positive test, it could be anywhere from 12 to 24 or 48 hours if that egg releases. So obviously we caught it. My early DPO symptoms, if you don't know what DPO means, it means days past ovulation. 1 to 4 DPO, I had absolutely no symptoms, you know, just to be, that's probably normal. And I just want to pause here and say, if I sound like I'm out of breath, it's because I am. It's like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like every time I like am talking to anybody, like my fiance, my mom, anybody, I just feel like I can't get enough breath. So if I sound like I'm like dying over here, I'm fine. I'm okay. But the symptoms really started for me around 5 DPO. That's when I started having bad cramps, and that's when my uterus started feeling heavy. Around 8 DPO is when I started having sore boobs, and I was kind of looking for this symptom. So when I had it, I was like, wow, this could be something. I was very excited when I started feeling that my boobs were sore. Around 9 DPO, I had some really weird cramping after sex. I never had that, but after we were done, it was like I had to like lay there for like a good 10 to 15 minutes. It was just like constant cramping. Like my uterus was just cramping, like period cramps, but like right after it made no sense to me. And I was like, let me just write this down. And I was like, I don't know what's going on, but let's just, you know, wait it out and see. So 11 DPO is when I took my first pregnancy test, just because a lot of people take them earlier and they get like a positive, but I was kind of scared and nervous anyways. So I waited until 11 DPO, and at 11 DPO, that's when that's when I took my first test, and it was negative. I wasn't like unhappy. I was kind of just like, you know, well, if this is the case, we'll try again. But I kind of went on with my day. I'm in college right now, so the classes and the workload along with my daughter is kind of a lot. So I didn't really have time, I guess, to like be worried about it if it wasn't, you know what I mean? If it wasn't like any other day when it was just like me and Ari. But I had like homework to do, papers to write, so it was like, okay, got a negative, like let's try again tomorrow type thing. 12 DPO is when I had super bad cramps again, and they were lower. They weren't like period cramps. They were like super low, and they were like almost twingy cramps. They weren't like a full-on cramp. So I was like, oh, that's weird. Something could be, you know, going on. Who knows? And this is also when I noticed increased CM. If you don't know what that is, it's cervical mucus. TTC community is just something that you can like track and that you can like know about. I don't know how to describe it. It's a little TMI, but Google it. But 12 DPO is also the day when my teacher like sent me a really like mean email. To me it was mean, maybe to her it wasn't. But I wasn't happy about that email that she sent me. So I was explaining it to my fiance, and for some reason I just started crying. It wasn't like anything. All she said was like, you know, you're falling behind. If you don't pick it up, like you're gonna have to be dropped from the class. And for some reason it just kind of made me very sad, and I felt like, you know, all this work I'm putting in and doing, I don't want to be dropped from the class. And my fiance had got home from work, and I let him know. And as I was like explaining to him like how everything made me feel, I just started bawling. Like I just started crying. The tears just started coming, and they just like wouldn't stop. And then like eventually, like after I was like done, I was kind of just like, wow, that wasn't like too big of a deal, you know what I mean? But I got my feelings out about it, you know? So 13 DPO, still with the sore boobs, still with the low cramps, nothing really new. Then I actually noticed that I have these little cheapy tests. If you're like trying to conceive, you can buy online. from Amazon, they have like these super cheap pregnancy tests and these super cheap ovulation tests for like $15. You can get like 50 ovulation tests, 20 pregnancy tests. So they're like these little tiny strips, and I was using those. And I actually noticed that there was a faint line on 13-DPO that I didn't see till like after it dried and everything. I kind of threw it away, or I didn't throw it away, I was like saving them so I can like do my line progression, but I didn't notice it until way after I basically got my positive. But 14-DPO was the day that I got my positive, and I wasn't even gonna test, but I decided to test because I was reading a paper that my teacher gave to me, and I'm pro-choice and everything, but it was a paper on abortion, and it was about the lady who worked at the abortion clinic and just everything that they do there, her job or whatever. And I don't know why, I just started crying. Like, I don't know if I was thinking about my baby that I lost, or I don't know what was going through my mind. I just know that I felt the tears run down my cheeks, and I'm just like, okay, this is the second time that I've been crying. And that's when I was like, I'm gonna just take a test because I think, you know, something might be up. And this is when I see the faintest of all faintest lines. I literally was holding it up. I had like went outside to like get some sunlight. I was probably looking like a mad woman trying to see if this test was positive, but it was positive, lo and behold, and I was very, very happy about it. I called my sister and I'm like, look at this test, and she looks at it and she's like, I think I see it, but I don't know if I see it. And she was like, just go get another test, you'll get the first response or like something like that. And I was like, okay, you're right, like what if it's false? Like, I'm just gonna go do that. And at the time my mom was actually here visiting from Chicago, so that was nice. She got to like hang out with Ari while I went to go run like a crazy mad woman to go get the test. And I came back, I took the test, and it was positive. There was a very, very faint line. I'll add pictures of both the tests here, but there was a very, very, very faint line. It was pink, you could see it, and I was very happy about it. So I knew like, hey, I'm pregnant. It was like the best feeling in the world. I was still feeling, you know, pretty normal, besides the fact that my boobs like felt like a little bit sore, but I was feeling great basically. Right after I kind of got those tests, I wanted to tell my fiance in a really cute way. I didn't want to like show him the pee sticks, and like after the fact he was kind of like, you should have just showed me the pee sticks. I don't know why, but I wanted to tell him in a really cute way. I put it in this like iPad box, but I just put these little booties in a box. I got a little Poe. It says welcome to the world, and then I have our pregnant test, and I had the other clear blue one that comes with this, and I had them both in here, and I just like had this sitting out. So he was excited when he saw, you know what I mean? He was like, really, how do you know? And like da 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 da. But excuse me, I feel like I need a drink. But yeah, he was super excited. We've been trying for months, like I said, so I don't think he really believed me at first. He was kind of just like, how do you know? Like, and I'm like, it says pregnant, like, hello. But he was kind of in shock, but he came around and he was excited, super happy, just ready like me to embark on this new journey. Okay, so I just want to do a little update on the first half of my pregnancy. Like I was saying, so I'm just gonna kind of go through the weeks and go through my symptoms that I was having for those weeks. Again, I have everything written down, so if I'm looking down, that is why. But let's jump right in. So 4 weeks pregnant is when I got my first blood draw, and I got that done at 4 weeks and 5 days. And excuse me, the only symptoms I was really feeling at 4 weeks pregnant, like the day you miss your period or that whole week, was just sore boobs, mild fatigue, and increased CM. It wasn't anything like super even noticeable if you really didn't know what to look for pregnancy, because my boobs get sore right when I'm gonna get my period too, so that couldn't, sometimes that happens to all women, so that's not really like a sign. And mild fatigue, I was just falling asleep at like 10 or 11 o'clock. I would just like find myself asleep, and I would find myself like Doug waking me up like, hey babe, let's go upstairs. You know what I mean? So I just wasn't going to sleep on my own. I was kind of just falling asleep. But I got my first blood draw at 4 weeks, 5 days pregnant, and it came back very, very high. My HCG levels were 2,336. So that's super high to be 4 weeks, 5 days pregnant. I'm sure some women do have super high levels like that and everything is like cool, fine, and everything, but for me, that number was super high. My progesterone was 139, and I even thought that was super high. And even the nurse on the phone was like, these numbers are good and these numbers are high. And I was like, well, thank you. And so I go to tell my mom, and when I told my mom, she was like, wow, those numbers are like super high. And I was like, yeah, they are. So moving on to 5 weeks pregnant, the only symptoms I was feeling is the same thing: sore boobs, mild fatigue. I had my second blood draw at 5 weeks, 1 day pregnant, because you're supposed to have it every 48 hours, but I think I had mine done on a Friday, so the next day was like a Monday, you know what I mean? It was, I can't go on the weekend. So yeah, when she called me back, she told me that my levels were 6,889. So not only did they double, they basically tripled. She didn't give me the progesterone number, I'm guessing because it was already so high. I guess it didn't really matter. But yeah, to me that meant healthy pregnancy, everything is all right, don't fret, don't just have a positive outlook on things, because once you have a miscarriage and you're going into a rainbow pregnancy, you have a lot of fears, you have a lot of doubts, you're very anxious and you're very scared just because you have been through a miscarriage. So you don't know if another one is coming, you don't know if you should even like really celebrate the pregnancy because of the miscarriage. So I was kind of feeling that way, but once I got those numbers back, it just put my mind completely at ease. I was just like, I know at this moment right now, everything is okay, and that's all I can hope for. That's all I can ask for. You know what I mean? You can't really, there's no point of worrying about tomorrow when you cannot, there's nothing you can do. You know what I mean? Tomorrow is gonna come, and what's gonna happen tomorrow, we'll deal with that tomorrow. But as of today, everything is fine, everything is cool, and I was really happy. So after I asked my doctor like, hey, can I have an early ultrasound? She was kind of telling me no, basically. She was saying like, it doesn't matter if you had a miscarriage, we don't do ultrasounds until 6 to 8 weeks, and they're trying to schedule me for like 8 weeks. And when you're in the beginning of your pregnancy, those weeks go by so slow. So I just wasn't happy with waiting that long. So I found a pregnancy resource center, and if you're a teenager and you don't like want to tell your parents that you're pregnant or whatever the case may be, find a pregnancy resource center. It's completely free. All you have to do is look on Google and type in like free pregnancy tests, free ultrasounds, and there, I 100% assure you, there is a free pregnancy resource center in your area, whether it's connected through a church or whether it's connected through a nonprofit organization. There are people out there that can help you, and if you don't have insurance or whatever the case may be, they can help you. So definitely Google that, and if you ever need to ask me any questions about it, I'm like here to answer them, because I didn't even know about this type of thing until I think too late in the game. But moving on, I found the pregnancy resource center and I decided to go. It was through like a Catholic church, but the Catholic church was like through like a St. David's hospital. It was like really dope, honestly. It was like the place was amazing, the people were amazing. They're always nice people. They're never like mean people that are like trying to force you into any decision. They just want to help you. They just want to give you resources. They have like free baby items, free baby clothes, free maternity clothes. Like they have whatever you need. So those places are definitely the go-to. But I go to this place and I tell her my situation, that I've had a miscarriage, and we go for the ultrasound. And I also kind of told her like, I don't know what my due date is, because they didn't give me a due date at my over the phone when I went in or whatever to get the blood work. They didn't really tell me much, so I wanted to get a due date as well. So I go in, the people are so nice. They have the ultrasound tech from the hospital come over, And I go in the room, and as soon as she kind of, and it wasn't a vaginal ultrasound, it was an abdominal ultrasound. So I don't know what we were expecting to see because I was only 5 weeks, but I honestly like just wanted to like make sure I was pregnant. I just wanted to make sure the baby was in the right spot. I just wanted to make sure whatever I could see at that stage was correct, basically. So I actually have the ultrasound picture from when I got it done, and when she first did it, when she put it on my stomach, she wasn't trying to let me see it. It was a really huge projection board on the wall. It was a blank wall, and it was like projected like how you have it in school or something. It was actually really cool, but they covered it up basically. She showed it for like a few seconds. I thought I saw something, but I haven't been pregnant, you know, since a year. I did get an ultrasound last year when I was pregnant, but you just don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in school to be an ultrasound tech, but I am not an ultrasound tech yet. So I don't know what to look for or what it's supposed to look like. So I didn't really catch anything when she first put it on there. But she kind of wanted to look herself, I guess. And once she looked, she showed it to me, and we found out that we are having twins, 2 babies, 2 sacks. We are having twins, y'all. I can't even, like, I don't even know what to say. I'm still in shock, even being 11 weeks. I'll even show this a little bit better. But it says baby A and baby B. So, yeah. I found out that I was having twins, and not even from my doctor. From the Pregnancy Resource Center. I was shocked, and just kind of, I just feel blessed. I just feel like because I lost a baby, this is God giving me another baby. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to have 3 children. Here are your 3 children. So that's kind of like all I can chalk it up to. And that's also contributed to why my levels were so high. So moving on, but I know that's like some super huge news. Moving on, 6 weeks. The only thing I can say about me at 6 weeks pregnant is that it hit me like a ton of bricks, okay? 6 weeks completely wiped me out. I thought I was fine. After I found out I was having twins, I was like, wow, like, to be having twins, I don't even like feel anything. And I shouldn't have said that because I jinxed myself, I think. I don't know. All I know is that as soon as I hit, and my weeks change on a Sunday. So as soon as that Sunday hit, I woke up so sick, like just nauseous. I woke up like my stomach felt like it was at war. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. All I know is that that day was the worst day of my life. I was throwing up, stomach bile all day. I could barely keep anything down, not even water. I would try to like chug water thinking that like it would help, and I would just go like vomit up the water that I just chugged. So I was like, this doesn't really make sense. So I started like sipping water and stuff. But let me just tell you, 6 weeks was horrible for me. It was like, I don't know how to even say it besides it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready for that. I was extremely exhausted. The exhaustion hit me like I'm talking about slap me in the face type thing. Like, you can't expect this stuff. You can't just wake up like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna be nauseous and I'm gonna handle it. Like, no, there's no person, you don't really know. So I just kind of, and I had my daughter, and I felt really bad for her those 2 weeks because she was just like, Mom, what is going on? You know what I mean? She didn't understand why I was throwing up. She didn't understand why I was like moaning and groaning, like, because I was just feeling so sick. I couldn't eat anything. I would try to eat like grapes and a lot of fruit. I think I survived off a lot of fruit because that's the only thing that if I did throw it up, it wasn't like too bad, too harsh, it didn't hurt or anything like that. But I was mostly just throwing up stomach bile because I couldn't eat a lot. So it was like I didn't have anything to throw up, but my body was like, no, we're throwing up right now. So 6 weeks was freaking brutal. It was horrible. But after my doctor, oh wow, getting some sun. It's been raining all day. So, but after my doctor figured out that my levels were so high, I think the nurses were the ones doing the whole lab work and stuff. I'm not sure, but my doctor actually called me, because first is the nurses, then my doctor called me, and she was actually like, hey, I actually do want to get you in for a 6-week ultrasound because your levels were so high, you know, da da da. And I was like, okay, cool. And I thought at that moment she knew like there might be a possibility of twins. So I went in at 6 weeks 5 days, and she saw 2 babies, and here they are. I will come a little closer to show you baby A and baby B at 6 weeks. Ow, I just hit my foot. But so at 6 weeks pregnant, 6 weeks 5 days, baby A's heartbeat was 113 and baby B's heartbeat was 117. So not far behind. But the basic thing was that I couldn't eat, and then at this point I couldn't sleep. Now, I pass out at like 9 or 10 o'clock just because my body, I think, is just like very, very tired. The energy of growing too makes me like pass out at a certain time, but how to really describe it, it's just like in the middle of the night I can't sleep. Like I'm tossing and turning, and I mean like tossing and turning. I mean, I'll wake up and turn this way, I'll wake up and turn this way, I'll wake up and turn this way. It's like I just like can't sleep, and then I started having a lot of vivid dreams and stuff. So I don't know, 6 weeks was a hard week for me. It was brutal and it was hard. But moving on to 7 weeks. At 7 weeks, just because I was like throwing up all of 6 weeks and I was barely eating, I was kind of feeling like I had no energy. I didn't want to like go anywhere. I felt really bad for my daughter during this week as well, just because I wasn't like taking her to the park. The dog wasn't getting like walked as she should have, just because I had to just sit. Like I felt like I got hit by a truck almost. Like I was like, I struggled to find energy. I struggled to find energy to cook. I struggled to find energy to clean. I just struggled to find the energy to do anything, honestly. I didn't do my makeup. Like I was just looking horrible, and I was feeling horrible, and it was like, I don't know. It was rough. It was really rough. But I noticed at 7 weeks that my boobs got huge. Like they almost doubled in size, and so my bras are like a little bit too small now, because my boobs grew with my daughter, and then now they're like extra growing. So I'm just like, all right, slow it down, slowly roll. But this is when like some of the cravings started coming. I started wanting things, like, oh, I want a burger, oh, I want this, or oh, I want that. But when I would go to get it, like we went to, I don't know what it was called, Freddy's, I think. We went to Freddy's, and I'm thinking like, I'm gonna eat this burger and it's gonna be so good because I'm ready for it and I really want it. And as soon as I got the burger, I couldn't eat it. Like I bit it, and like it wouldn't go down. Like I had to spit it out. Like my body was saying like no. And I've never had that before. Even with my daughter, whatever I wanted to eat, I could eat. If I was hungry, I was eating. But with these babies, it's kind of like they want what they want, kind of. If it's not gonna like benefit me nutritionally, or if it's not like gonna be quick to get to my stomach to eat a burger, you know what I mean? It's like bite it a few times, like feel it in your stomach. And my babies don't really like that, I'm guessing. They want to be full quick. So I kind of did a lot of smoothies during this week, and I did a lot of popsicles. I know it's not really good because it was just those like pop ice ones, the ones you just like rip off, and they have like all that high fructose in it. But I had to just go ahead and do it because I didn't know like what else to eat, and I wasn't eating enough, I know. But it's not really about eating in the beginning, it's just about staying hydrated. You can't get dehydrated, or else you'll have to like go get fluids, because your babies need it, your body needs it, you need water. So yeah, moving on to 8 weeks. Now 8 weeks, I was like basically not a pro at throwing up, but I just like knew it was coming, knew what to expect. It was like clockwork basically. I would wake up in the morning, pee, throw up. I would like go downstairs, make some breakfast, throw up. I would like clean the house, do some homework, throw up. Like it was just like I had to just fit it into my schedule, fit it into my day. It was nothing I could Rain, stop. It was nothing I could really do to avoid it. So I just kind of like got with the program, and I would just make it easier for myself by not chugging water. But when I felt like very, very nauseous, my mouth kind of starts to water when I know I'm gonna throw up. So I would just kind of take a few sips of water so that it's a little easier coming up, and I would drink a little maybe hot tea so it's not burning my throat or burning my esophagus. Just like things like that, just to try to like ease my pain, and that kind of sort of helped. that kind of helped. It didn't really help too much, but this is also the week that I started taking naps. Like usually I don't nap. I'm not like a napper. I honestly, if you ask anybody, they'll tell you that I don't like taking naps, just because I feel like when you wake up from that nap, you're like way too tired. Like you're not. Some people take naps and they wake up like, oh my god, wow, that was a great nap, like let's get to our day. But like I wake up from a nap and I'm like, wow, I wish it was like 10 o'clock at night so I can like continue to sleep. You know what I mean? Like I'm just not like nap in the day person. But now I am napping, and I literally like had to like start scheduling my days around my daughter, waking her up early, because I was almost like falling asleep on her. Like she had to wake me up like, Mom, you're falling asleep. Like, and I'm like, dang, sorry. But once I kind of got us on a schedule kind of together, I was able to take naps while she was taking her naps, and it was okay. But either way, I was still ridiculously tired. I don't think that will ever go away. But this is also when the irritability starts. Like I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky person. I'm pretty happy all the time, but now 8 weeks is when I started getting very irritable. Like, you know, Doug would say something and I would just like be short with him, or like snap a little bit easier, or like, you know, get on my daughter for like spilling something, or just like little things that I usually don't, you know, get upset about or find myself mad about or whatever. I was getting upset about it. 8 weeks is also when I was able to eat a little bit more, because I had more cravings, and I was able to kind of figured out how to manage the nausea, if that makes sense. Like you can't really manage nausea. If you're gonna feel nauseous, you're gonna feel nauseous. But at first I was feeling like super nauseous, and I wasn't able to eat or drink or anything. I was just feeling like completely sick. Like I don't even want anything right now because I'm feeling so sick. And I realized that was even contributing more to me throwing up stomach bile. You know what I mean? Because I don't have anything in my stomach, I'm not eating anything, and I can't do that. So at that point I started like implementing like chicken salad and crackers. So like when I wake up, I would just like get a cracker and like dip it in some chicken salad and like just eat that, just because it would like just be something in my stomach, and it would like sort of settle it a little bit. I noticed that eating while I was nauseous, even though I didn't want to, made my nausea a little bit better. So I started doing that. Little snacks, almonds, nuts, like, you know what I mean, little things to get me the protein and stuff that I needed to not feel nauseous. 9 weeks is sort of when the nausea started to subside a little bit. I wasn't and I was actually kind of surprised, because, you know, I was like ready for it every morning at this point. Ready to, I apologize about the lighting changing. It's because it's getting so bright out and it was so dark. So I had artificial light, and now I could basically use a regular light. But so yeah, 9 weeks, it kind of surprised me that my nausea let up. I wasn't as nauseous, I wasn't throwing up as much, and that made me feel really, really happy. But it also made me feel kind of scared, just because I was like, where are my symptoms at? Basically, because when I lost the last baby, my symptoms completely went away. I was like super hungry, I was super tired, and all that, and then all of a sudden nothing. But I was never sick with the last baby, so I don't know if that means anything, but I was never sick. But I was kind of like, a few days went by and I was like, okay, is everything okay? Like, what's going on? But everything is fine. Everything continues to be fine. So I had another ultrasound at 8 weeks and 5 days. They wanted to give me another ultrasound to check on the babies, just because we did find out that it was 2 babies in there at 6 weeks, or my doctor did. I already knew, but once my doctor kind of found out there was 2 babies in there, she wanted to do a growth check just to make sure they was growing on time. And I'm very sad that they didn't give me a hard copy of the ultrasound photos like they did these 2 times. They actually emailed them to me, so I was like bummed. Or I'll add a picture in right here of the babies at 8 weeks 5 days. They look so big, so much more bigger compared to what they looked like at 6 weeks. So I was very happy. I'm super excited to see them again, just because it just puts every mom at ease to see their baby, see that little heartbeat flutter and hear it. I haven't been able to hear the heartbeat yet. They said they don't let you listen that early, which I've never heard before, but whatever. So yeah, moving on to 9 weeks. 9 weeks, I had a pretty smooth week. My nausea calmed down, my vomiting calmed down. I wasn't vomiting like clockwork anymore. It was just kind of like a smooth week for me, besides being super tired, because I don't think that'll ever go away. I'm like ridiculously tired, and I always take a nap because I need it. But 9 weeks for food wise, nausea wise, all that, it was fine. 10 weeks, which was last week, 10 weeks pregnant. I actually turned 22. It was my birthday, so I went to a steakhouse with Doug, and I was able to eat whatever I wanted. At this point, I feel like I'm not past the throwing up, because I still throw up. It's just a little bit more sporadically now. It's not like clockwork. I don't wake up. I do wake up starving. I wake up really hungry and I have to eat something, but I don't wake up like ready to throw up because of the stomach bile and all that. And I honestly think it has something to do with the placenta taking over instead of the yolk sac and all that. And I think it has something to do with that, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, I think that's basically it. 10 weeks is a pretty smooth week as well. Everything is starting to kind of just smoothly go by, and as I enter the second trimester, I'm just excited. I'm excited for my bump to grow. I'm excited for my babies to grow, and I'm excited to kind of give birth to them. I am 100%, even though I have an OB right now, I 100% want to find a midwife and find a team that can work with me, to have a home birth or a different type of birth. It's because I don't want any medical interventions. I don't want a C-section. I don't want any of that, but we can go into that in another video. But I think that's kind of it. I'm definitely going to be keeping up these videos. I'll do my 11-week update and everything, and just kind of keep it going. If you want to follow my journey, please click the subscribe button. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys. Okay, so I completely forgot to do a belly shot. So here I go. Pull these up, and these are like the best pregnancy leggings. And here is a belly shot for you guys. I am 11 weeks 2 days, but we'll just take this as the 10-week bump shot. Crazy how I'm showing already, but there we go. See you guys in my next video.